Well, I think that there's a lot of different ways to slice the question of ebooks and libraries. There are questions of principle, there's questions of immediate income, there's questions of sensible policy, there's questions of law. As a practical matter, I think that libraries have been so important to the careers of writers, and librarians are such fabulous advocates, and in particular nonpartisan advocates for authors. I mean, when you think of the people who advocate for authors right now, we have one enormous internet bookseller that really wants to sell books. Don't get me wrong, I think that if Amazon has any priority in this whole wide world, it's to sell the hell out of books. But it's to sell the hell out of books to benefit Amazon, right? And not because they're evil, but because they're a for-profit institution and that's their thing. Publishers want to sell the hell out of books too, and they want to sell the hell out of your books, provided your books are profitable for them. But as we all know, publishers aren't charities, and when writers cease to be profitable enough for them, we end up getting dropped. Now, there's been all of this consolidation in the retail sector. There's been even more consolidation in distribution. There's been so much consolidation in publishing. And so, whereas before it might have been, well, you're with a little publisher and there's another publisher across the street if you get too ranked with them, now there's 5 publishers left. There's one effective retailer and then a bunch of indie stores that I love dearly, but that in the grand scheme of things are a tiny piece of it. There's only one powerful voting bloc out there whose only interest is in promoting authorship, books, and knowledge, to the exclusion of things like shareholders or Kindle ebook sales and lock-ins, or ad sales, or the invasion of privacy, and that's libraries. There can't be a solution to this that starts with an adversarial role between libraries and writers. Libraries and writers are the two groups in this whole dynamic whose interests are most closely aligned. And whatever answer we find to this, I think we need to find in partnership with our libraries, not least because libraries are under such vicious assault in this time of austerity and contracting access to public services. And so many of us discovered our love of books in libraries, and so many of our readers did, that we need to preserve them, right? When there's not any more the bookseller like I was when I was a bookseller, who was hand-selling our books to people, who's left? Except for the librarian, who takes that one book-a-day kid who's going to be the 20% who read 80% of the books, and when they walk in says, here's a book you've got to read. If it's not a librarian, who's going to do it? I think that whatever the solution publishers find with libraries, it can't rely on the idea that their single biggest group of top grossing customers have to pay 6 times what everybody else pays for access to books. That just doesn't make any sense to me. That pricing seems, frankly, to me predatory. And the fact that all of the publishers have hit on pricing that's very, very high, to me sounds dangerous and like the kind of thing that publishers recently got into a lot of trouble for. As an author, I want libraries to have my books, and I want them to be able to get them on equitable terms, and on terms that are not materially different from the terms that you or I would buy an ebook on. And so it seems like a no-brainer. Libraries should be able to buy the books the same way you buy books, the same way I buy books, the same way they've bought books forever, the same way they've bought books for longer than there's been copyright, for longer than there's been publishing, for longer than there's been paper. Libraries should be able to buy books, and they should be able to buy them on fair terms.